Hello, this is Riley. When I was little, I had a lot of space for gardening at home. We had a bunch of different little gardens for potatoes and radishes and lettuce and peas and beans and what have you. And it was great. I loved it. It was good to get my hands dirty, to get me outside, and also because then you eat things that you grow yourself, and it's really gratifying and yummy. But when you live in an apartment in a city, you don't always have as many options for growing your own food, let alone for recycling or composting. And this is something that I've run into since coming to Montreal and wanting to be a little bit more environmentally minded and self-sufficient in different ways. As a sort of fix to this, many city dwellers will sign up for community gardens where they will be able to participate in their community, which is really cool, and grow veggies and things so that they can eat them and even make the city greener. It's all around a good thing, except when you have to wait 3 to 5 years to join it, which is what happened to me. I came here and wanted to participate in a community garden, emailed somebody, they sent me an email back and said, waitlist is 3 to 5 years, so you can sign up now and get on there. I don't even know where I'm going to be in 3 to 5 years. So despite its appeal and how nice it seems that it would be, community gardens aren't necessarily as accessible as I would like them to be in a very heavily populated city. Another problem caused by population size. Since coming to Montreal and trying to reduce our waste, Gabe and I want to do recycling and composting since those are kind of the easiest ways to reduce your waste. For months we'd been sorting out our recycling and putting it in the bin that looked like the recycling bin until we realized that that wasn't a recycling bin, it was a garbage, and that there was no recycling bin in our building and no compost because there are just too many people in the building and the city does not have the resources to pay for recycling and composting services for buildings with more than 21 apartments in them. So in the last couple months we had to figure out alternative ways to get around these little problems, not being able to join a community garden, not being able to recycle or compost in our own home. Recycling was pretty easy to get around. We looked it up online. There is a local system where you put it in a clear plastic bag and leave it on the curb for a certain pickup day, and easy as that. It's gone, your recycling's dealt with. But composting was a little bit more difficult. Only yesterday did Gabe and I actually kind of figure out everything that we needed to have figured out to do composting. It took a little while, but we are now signed up for community composting. So community composting is a little bit different in summer and winter because they have different composting methods. But in summer, there are these big bins that rotate and you have to rotate them yourself. You put your compost in there and you put some wood chips in there and then it composts in about 6 weeks, so it's a really quick process and it's in your community. It sucks because we have to walk like 6 minutes with our little compost bin, but it's the only way we can compost and it's not too far away. Also, another cool thing about it is that you can ask to have compost for your gardens after it's all processed and composted down. I'm pretty excited about being able to get compost back because that brings me to the next point of gardening, which I am doing at home. I think I mentioned it a little bit when I was talking about my balcony project. I have started doing some of my own urban gardening. I put seeds in little seeding pots, I put saran wrap over a thing to make a little oven for it to germinate in, and I am transplanting them into the bigger pots today and putting them on my balcony so that I will have my own little produce garden. I find that having plants at home and gardening makes me a lot happier. It might just be because I love plants, but I think it also has to do with the fact that you get to watch something grow and you are the one that's keeping that thing alive. And then afterwards, when it matures, you get to eat it. And then that's really satisfying to eat something that you grew up yourself. So I guess the moral of all that is that even if something seems completely inaccessible, there's usually a way to get around it. If you're a little bit creative, you talk to some people, and you put in a little bit of effort, you can probably make it happen. Anyways, I'll see you next Friday.